poll first, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Beal? Here. Ms. Gilman? Here. Ms. Hayes? Here. Mr. McCarthy?
Here.
Mrs. McGovern?
Here.
Ms. Guamas? Here. Ms. Rico? Here. Mr. Morello?
Here.
Mr. Weinstein?
Here. Okay, I think we're on the rise in pledge, have a pledge allegiance, okay? Pledge allegiance to the flag,
States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we got a nice full house here today. Welcome, everybody. So we're going to go straight to the president's report, and I got quite a number of things to talk about tonight. First off, with the last couple of weeks of school going on, there's been a number of nice sessions that have been happening. I'm a little disappointed that I missed the sports award night, but I was away on business. But I was here for the NHS event last week, and I thought it was great. I feel very inadequate when I see all the things that these kids are doing so early in life, but that's just a cross I guess I have to bear. But it was exciting to hear about all the things they're involved with and all the excitement that they had. And I did like how much the seniors and the juniors kind of collaborated and gave each other nice handshakes and high fives. It was kind of cool. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that a lot. Tomorrow night, the SEPTIS has its award ceremony, and I'm excited to go to that. Myself, John, and Alex were judges for the awards, and I do want to say that reading the essays was incredibly heartwarming. The things you read about what some of these teachers do to those kids is incredibly nice to see that they're acknowledged by the parents and how much they really affect all the students that are involved with them. And I just thought it was just not only were they well articulated, but it was just really nice to see and hear. And I think one of the people on SEPTA said, I want to give you something nice that people were saying about what's going on in the school as opposed to not. So I felt great about that as well. So that was a nice thing to have. We had some discussions around our funding for next year, and we actually have two of our assemblywomen here that met with Ms. Erlner met with us the other day, and we had some good conversations with her and also our state senator Vin Gopal, which we met with today. And I don't think there's anything specific to talk about right now, other than I feel like we have a bunch of good advocates for us that are listening to our challenges in the way of how we have to invest in infrastructure, invest in good learning, the challenges that we have as a district to kind of not just meet the needs of what we have, but how do we excel as a school district. I thought that was a good conversation. And I believe that they're putting forth our name a lot in school districts that should receive more funding. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that, but I do know that we had a good conversation for a couple hours and got our points across. And I really felt good about those discussions. And I want to thank from the Finance Committee, both Alex and Natalie for sitting in, as well as Irene came in as well for those discussions. So I appreciate that. So I do want to say, so, this is the last board meeting before we have graduation. And with graduating coming up, we don't really make any speeches or anything, but I do want to say how much I congratulate all the kids who are going to graduate from one year to the next. And how, the kids are going from 5th grade to 6th and into the big school and into the middle school. And also, the kids who are graduating, obviously going from middle school to high school and those going off after high school. I mean, it's a big achievement. It's a lot to accomplish. And, these last couple of years have not been easy on anybody. And it takes a lot for everybody to kind of go through that. So I really do want to kind of congratulate everybody on that. And that kind of leads me to, it kind of leads me to the people here in the audience. So, I know a number of people here in the audience, and we're celebrating our retirees tonight. And The mark that all you leave on our kids is, immeasurable, right? And, it's one of those things that it reminds you of why you take the job. And, my kids went through the school system, all through 12, all 12 grades. Thankfully, no more than that, but they went all 12 grades. But they've had many of you, and they know many of you, and you see many of them grow up. And I would be really, remiss if I didn't just express my own appreciation. And I know this board has a great appreciation for all of you done. You've touched the lives of thousands of kids. And, that is immeasurable. That is immeasurable. So throughout my daughter's career here, something popped up, and it was about the Spartan legacy, right? And my daughter's telling me about Spartan legacy this, Spartan legacy that, and I'm like, what is that all about? I understood the words, but like, what are you supposed to be thinking about? And she was like, what's the mark that you leave, and how do you become a Spartan, right? And I just want to say that all of you here have left your own Spartan legacy, and you really have changed, for many of these kids, the DNA of them to be great Spartans forever. So I want to applaud you. Well, first off, I am an emotional guy. All right, I'm an emotional guy. It's a little bit worse when I see some people that I know very well here in the audience, and watching them get a little emotional and all those kind of things. That doesn't help either. So, but I'm doing better. So I'm okay too. So with that, thank you for bearing with me on all the announcements I made and all the discussions, and thanks for listening to me. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Spankwitz for his presentation.
Jeff, I have bad news for you.
What?
Because you're going to need more tissues. because our first acknowledgement this evening is this young man over here, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yorgos, is that correct? Kozak, is that correct? Okay, good, very good. So we are honored this evening and to have Yorgos here with us. So Yorgos is a 7th grade student at the Township of Ocean Intermediate School, and his teacher, Melinda Williams, is also a student. And he was selected as the national champion, that'd be the national champion, in the Asbury Park Elks Lodge number 128 essay contest. And this year's essay contest topic was what it means to love your country. Thank you.
It's only pink half.
Yeah, it's all right. Better be upside down. All right. Yorgos received a $500 check for this from the state and a $500 check from the Asbury Park Elks Lodge number 128. And in July, he will receive a plaque from the state as well. And he wrote the essay in his English language arts class. And as I said, his teacher, his ELA teacher is Melinda Williams. His social studies teacher is Jeanette Speck, who could not be here this evening. But I was really hoping, and I didn't get a chance to do this ahead of time, but Yorgos is looking at me and I'm looking at him when he walks in, and I said, you want to read your essay? And he goes, yeah, I really want to read my essay. So I think it will benefit us all, particularly I think in the times that we are living in, to hear your essay. So if you could, young man, go up to that microphone and read us your incredible essay on what it means to love. I'll just go and just be at the podium. Jeff, you're going to be balling. You're going to be balling.
Yes.
All right. All right. Nice and loud, here, guys, so we can all hear.
What it means to love your country. Loving your country means having a maternal grandfather who studied by candlelight in a small village in Greece, dreaming of better opportunities in a faraway land. It means having a paternal grandfather who fled Russia as a refugee, walking across Europe, spending his childhood in a displacement camp in Germany, and when he finally made it to this country, served in the United States Army to show his love. It means understanding the sacrifices and struggles of those that came before you and what they did and gave up to afford you the freedoms and opportunities that you have today. My family raised me to have a deep love for this country because of what America was able to give them. Both of my parents came from immigrant families, from countries with limited opportunities and resources. For me, on a daily basis, loving my country means that I do simple things like saying the Pledge of Allegiance with my homeroom class, respect the flag, sing the national anthem at the Rutgers basketball game I attended this week, and study hard in my American history class. It means that I do my best to become a good citizen of this country, participate in community service and cleanups, visit national memorials, and celebrate with pride America's holidays. But perhaps, most of all, loving my country means to remember the words of my grandparents. Never take for granted the freedoms and opportunities that America has granted us, and always show your respect and love. I love America with all my heart and soul. By honoring America, I honor the memory of its ancestors, all those who fought to make America, and the memory of my ancestors and what they did to give me a life in this magnificent country.
So everybody's crying now. Right? So you're going to, if you could though, Mr. Amato has a certificate for you. It's not $500. And actually we're hoping if you're all going to take us out to dinner after the meeting. But if you could just grab some pictures, congratulations. I just want to read one part while we're taking this picture here again. Never take for granted the freedoms and opportunities that America has granted us, and always show your respect and love. So
Yay.
from the mouths of our youth. Sorry, we have to take What a great way to start our evening, right? So this meeting is always a little bittersweet because one, it's exciting because obviously it's very close to the end of the school year, and I know everyone is looking forward to that. It's also great because we get a chance to acknowledge the individuals who, as Mr. Weinstein said, have served the students of this township so incredibly well for so many, many years. Of course, the bitter part comes in is that these individuals beyond this year, we will not have the benefit of having them in the classroom as they are taking a much and well-deserved retirement, but we certainly will have the benefit, as Mr. Weinstein said, of their legacy, which is eternal. This year we have 32 retirees that make up, and I'm gonna tell a minor fib, okay? Just because it couldn't be that number. That make up 667 years of combined, now it's really 666, but I could not have it be 667. I mean, that just would have been not right, okay? So we're gonna go with 667.
No, that's fast.
We're gonna count student teaching. Right? That's a teacher joke. So 667 years of combined service to the students of Ocean Township, which is unbelievable. And that literally equates to thousands upon thousands of students, right? So anything that we can say here is never enough, but we say thank you, and we appreciate every single minute that you spent, and we will miss you dearly. We will miss you dearly. And you are always, and by the way, there's a new law out there that retired teachers can come back and teach. So you're always, and you may get a call from us at some point. So what I'm going to do is there's a number of people unfortunately could not join us this evening. So I think I'm going to just acknowledge them first since they're not here. And then we have, and some folks are online as well. So we have some folks Zooming from much warmer places than this, and we're all jealous. So couldn't be here in person, but are able to join us. So I'm just going to go through the folks who could not be here with us, and I apologize in advance if I'm going to age anyone here, date anyone, I should say, because I'm going to announce how many years you've been in the district. Okay, so. That means some of you joined the district around birth or, shortly thereafter. All right. So the folks who could not join us this evening. So one of our custodians from the high school, Barry Bloodgood, with 16 years in the district. Sue English would rather attend her actual retirement party this evening, but Sue is with us in spirit over at fifth grade, the intermediate school, 26 years in the district, retiring as a 12-month secretary in the accounting office in the administrative building. Daphne Henderson, 24 years in the district. Couldn't believe he couldn't make it here tonight, but former assistant principal of both the high school and the intermediate school, Mike Lambusta, 28 years in the district. Pam Lister, French teacher at the high school, 11 years in the district. Karen Marone, math and business teacher at the high school, 15 years in the district. This one, without, I think, question, tops any announcement I've ever made regarding retirements. Physical education teacher at OTES, Maureen McCarthy, 49 years with us in the district. Michelle Morgan, 23 years in the tech department. Debbie Ott, special ed at the high school, 14 years. Patty Pearson, who I think also is at a retirement party this evening, 33 years at Wanamas Elementary School. Mel Regal, 12-month secretary at both Wanamas and Central Office, 24 years. Bruce Rice, bus driver, 12 years. James Sainer, groundskeeper, 18 years. Myra Siciliano, secretary at the high school for 15 years. And Roseanne Spivak, instructional assistant, 32 years, bless you, 32 years in the district. So for those folks who couldn't join us this evening, thank you so much. So I guess, Jess, you're going to help me with the plaques because you just wanted to kind of hang. Amy told you to come up. Okay, so these are the plaques and they're in somewhat alphabetical order. So, all right. So for the folks who are either with us in person, I believe these folks are all here or on the Zoom. So language arts teacher, basic skills teacher, and I think scholastic extraordinaire, ambassador, I should say, right? 15 years in the district. Marcy Abramowitz. Marcy. Marcy, if you would be so kind, maybe we can stand here and then we're going to get a picture of everybody when we're done, okay? Yeah, I think with the table here, it's a little, I mean, maybe at the end we can move it. All right, we'll figure it out after we announce everybody. Okay, so we have Marcy. Also, custodian in the district, primarily at Ocean Township Elementary School, 15 years, Louis Arcos. Louis.
Congratulations.
Jeff, you got everybody crying tonight. It's fine. Okay, I think 25 years at the elementary schools, working with our gifted and talented teacher, Kathy Aldino. Kathy, please. I didn't see you ever like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Instructional assistant, also 25 years in the district, Joyce Hoffman. Joyce. All right. Now, this next person has only been in this district 3 years, but I think I can speak for everyone to say that she has made such an impression that it seems like dog years, right? I mean, it seems like, 90 years. The stories we could tell, Ellen, right? Particularly one awesome pandemic response committee meeting, that was a good one. That'll last with me for a long time. But 3 years, school nurse over at OTES, Ellen Hornberg. Ellen. That's okay. We appreciate every moment. And, you picked 3 great years. It was boring. There wasn't a lot going on in those last 3 years. You're probably like, I'm kind of bored, so I'm going to retire, right? So I don't blame you 1 second. All right. No big deal here. No big deal. Promised, no big deal. 19 years in the district, school business administrator, board secretary, Kenny Janarone. All right. Interventionist extraordinaire, 24 years with us in the district. Dana Lewis Lee. Dana.
Thank you.
All right. Every teacher has a tough job. In many cases, working with some of our students who are new to our country and do not always speak English and have to rise above that or those challenges and learning the language as well as learning content. 24 years as an English as a second language teacher in the district, Sue Malta. So. Okay. All right. I mean, when people ask me what's my favorite, island, I say, of course, what do I say, Edie?
Turks.
Is there any other islands? Right? The Turks and the Caicos, right? We will miss every one of these individuals here. There's sometimes there's just, there's some people in the district, right? It's like Cher, Madonna, Bono, Sting. All you got to say is Edie, and just everybody knows. Everybody knows. Special education teacher at the high school, 26 years in the district, Edie Minot. Edie. All right. On Zoom. Very happy to see this person on Zoom with us this evening. A former supervisor of math and science at the K-5 level in all of our elementary schools, 16 years in the district, Christine Paserno. Christine on Zoom. Thank you for being here. You gotta hand it into the. We will get you your plaque, Christine. Thank you for joining us this evening. Great to kind of see you. Also on Zoom, 25 years instructional assistant, Robin Noguchi. Robin. All right. Also, while we're on Zoom, we're going to stick with Zoom for a moment. Okay. Also on Zoom, and coming to us from somewhere around, I think, the North Carolina, South Carolina border, if I'm not mistaken. Instructional assistant, 17 years, Bonnie Zimmerman. Bonnie. I think this is the second longest person on the, not sorry, Laura. I don't mean, once again, don't mean to date anybody, right? But I think it just speaks to the, obviously the commitment and the dedication, right? Ocean Township Elementary, elementary teacher, third grade, second grade, third grade, right? Probably every grade over the years. Right? Laura Trigani. Laura. All right. So again, not an incredibly long period of time, but just impactful. And obviously, when you're working in special education, it's every day is fun and exciting, without question. So our recently retired Assistant Superintendent Special Services, 4 years in the district, Jen Zona.
She just said, look how happy she looks. And I was like, yeah. You do all look very happy on that side of the table, I must say.
Now, forgive me if there's is there anyone here that I missed? I apologize, but we didn't, the folks that we said yes to, we're all good? Okay.
Say, I hope one of them doesn't stand up in the back.
Okay.
Decided.
Okay, Jeff. Okay. This last one, and we just saved this for last, because obviously this is a happy occasion, and I certainly in no way want to take away from a very happy occasion. And especially for those of you who are come back to us and you've been retired for a little bit, because you all look fabulous and we understand why. So those of you who are retiring right now will look like they look in just a couple of short months. But this year we had a retirement technically of an individual in January. But beyond that, we were unfortunate enough to lose this individual within our district. And Mr. Paul McGrade, who was a 25-year teacher of social studies, but more importantly, just someone who had, I think, who was a presence far beyond that. We lost earlier this year in February, late January, February. Paul technically retired January 1st. And we did speak to his wife, who was incredibly gracious, and we wanted to do this tonight and recognize Paul, and we do have a plaque for his family. And his wife, unfortunately, was very honored by the fact that we presented the plaque, but could not be here this evening. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. As I was saying, Mr. McGrade is gracing us by coming here this evening. I'm very, very sorry, because I did not hear that you were coming. So forgive me. But what I will say is, Mr. Weinstein once again spoke of legacy, and the impact that Paul had on countless students in this district is absolutely immeasurable. So there's very little we could say to do that justice this evening. All we can say is thank you, Paul. Hopefully, we know you're here, sitting probably right next to your lovely bride. We miss you, and we look forward to the time where we will say hello again. With that, we'd like to present Ms. McGrade with.
We miss you, McGrade.
Absolutely. Okay, we're gonna get a group shot. Let's go. Let's do it. Try to get in there, Kenny.
Neil.
3, 2, 1. Taking a couple. Anybody else? First time I smile.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Dr. Stefanko,
Yes,
Mr. Riley would like to say something.
Mr. Riley would like to say something.
Before everybody leaves, I think Mike Riley's on, wanted to say
thank
something.
you.
Mike, am I correct?
Mr. Riley, president of our TOEA, would like to just say something.
Statement, I believe.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to congratulate all of the retirees before you get going. I apologize for not being there, but unfortunately I am on pick up the wife at work duty. And she got off at Monmouth Medical being a nurse, and she's not done with her paperwork yet. I am literally keys in hand, ready to bolt out the door at a moment's notice or else. The levels of quality that are walking out the door right now are incredible. It's both a sad day and a great day for all of you. And I regret letting any of you walk out. All right. It is definitely a great moment for you, a horrible moment for the district. But, congratulations. And, I'm very, very happy for all of you. Jim, I do have some good news. Lori Ann Walgren and I have finished all of their substitute paperwork for them.
Mike, that's fantastic.
And we will have it ready for you tomorrow, just in case we have some people absent on Friday.
Well, that's not unusual. So we'll take them.
All right, sounds good. Congratulations, everybody. I wish I could be there right now, but the boss takes precedence.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you all. So we're gonna go on with the rest of the, I'm sure all the retirees want to stay for this entire board meeting.
But it's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement, right?
Pardon, President Weinstein, Kim and I would just like to say our well wishes, and we're going to depart onto our next adventure.
Sure, sure. Sure.
So as President Weinstein and Dr. I think was my
Perfect.
I pointed out, Ocean Spartans, your sense of community. This board is so, in the short minutes, literally met this person in person 25 minutes ago. Their passion and commitment to the facilitators, the administrators, educators, kids and families is unparalleled. So thank you for that. It was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting us in, getting to meet everybody a little bit upstairs and to be with everyone on such a special occasion. I don't want to start crying. The hallmark moment, but it was so lovely to be here and just share the moment of celebration for what a testament to your community, your school district, that people don't leave. 16 years, 15 years, 25 years, 30 something. I don't want to do push-ups against the gym teacher. I'll say that, but I wish you all the best. Kim and I are here to be partners and to be a voice for everyone in our community. So we look forward to many, many good positive events.
Okay, thanks, thank you.
See you for fun.
Great, thank you.
Bye now.
Thanks, everyone. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Laura, I might never say this again, but go Celtics, all right? I may never say that again. I may never say that again.
Thank you for selling.
I know, I may never say that again. All right.
Irene, I call our family. Irene. Thank you, Marcella. Thanks, Mr. Ganny. Bye, Tina. Everybody sing our side. But I saw them come on.
That's okay. That's great. I mean, it's great.
I know.
Okay.
Didn't, but I would love to. I mean, I did to you that time.
Ms. Stevens, other issues.
Sit here too.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go back on schedule. Ms. Schuman, do you have a board?
No, I have nothing works.
Okay, great. So now we're going to have the first of two public comment sessions. Let me read the first one. The following are a series of motions to be read by committee chairpersons. All motions have been discussed at a recent public work session. Some motions have been approved at a public work session, and the minutes for the approved items are posted on the district website. At this point in the meeting, we will now conduct the first of two public comment sessions. The first session will be for the public comments on agenda items only. The second session will be at the end of the meeting and can be on any topic. Would anyone from the public like to make a comment on any agenda item at this time? Anybody sitting here? No? Ms. Conway, anybody on Zoom like to make a comment?
No, President Weinstein, there are no commenters.
Okay, great. Thank you. So with that, let me do approval of minutes to Ms. Gilman.
Thank you, President Weinstein. We're going to move to approve the following meeting minutes from our work meeting on May 24th, 2022, in accordance with Board of Education bylaw 0168, and our executive session minutes on May 24th, 2022. 5.2, move to approve the meeting minutes in accordance with our bylaw 0168 for our regular meeting on May 24th, 2022. And 5.3, move to approve the meeting minutes according to bylaw 0168 for our work meeting and executive session minutes on June 7th, 2022. Are there any comments, questions,
You
corrections?
second it? Natalie?
Yes, Natalie.
Second. Yep. I think
No
we could-
questions?
No question. I think we just do a all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Great.
Motion carries.
Management, financial management and resource services. Now,
All right, we
Okay.
have 21 items this evening.
let's take a break.
What'd you say?
I said we'd take a break.
All right, 6.1, following resolution certifies that budget balances at the end of May 2022 were adequate to pay all remaining obligations of the 21-22 school year, and that account groupings required by the state have adequate balances. The board is also certifying that the independent reports of the treasurer and the business office are in agreement as per the below. 6.2, the following move for approval of the attached resolution dated May 2022, covering appropriation transfers in the 21-22 General Fund 10. Said transfer shall result in no change in the total original appropriations. 6.3, move for the approval of the following paid items totaling $5,054,842.26 as per the attached list. 6.4, move to approve the use of facilities as per the attached memo dated June 14th, 2022. 6.5, move to approve the following security drills for the month of May 2022 as listed below. 6.6, move to accept a donation from Cisco Systems Matching Gifts Program in partnership with former Board of Education member John Stupi, a Cisco employee, in the amount of $1,050.65. The funds will be used by our Applied Technology Department to build an esports lab at Ocean Township High School. Please see attached memo dated May 31st, 2022. 6.7, move to approve the award of contracts to the following professional legal services for the 2022-23 school year as listed below. 6.8, move to approve the award of contracts to the following for the 2022-23 school year as listed below. 6.9, move to approve the award of contracts to the following doctors for the 2022-23 school year as listed below. 6.10, move to approve the 2-year shared services agreement between the Township of Ocean Board of Ed, Shore Regional Board of Ed, and Monmouth Regional Board of Ed on a cooperative sports program for ice hockey within NJSIAA guidelines for the 22-23 and 23-24 winter ice hockey seasons as per attached.
6.11, move to approve the writing off of AR items. Total write-off amount is $24,294.24 of receivables owed to the district per the attached schedule. 6.12, move to approve writing off outstanding checks. Total write-on is $13,164.82 per the attached schedule. 6.13, move to approve the renewal of New Jersey shared insurance services, including workers' comp, property and liability coverage with the New Jersey School Insurance Group for a one-year premium, July 1, 22 through June 30, 23, for a total amount of $1,160,910, which includes all lines of coverage as well as includes NJSIG option, as we are waiting for alternative cyber quotes, enabling school districts to cooperate with each other to make the most efficient use of resources. Please note that the service fee is not included at this time. 6.14, move to approve the requisitioning of taxes from the Township of Ocean in the total amount of $71,048,817 for the 22-23 school year as per the attached breakdown. 6.15, move to approve the following FMNRS item, transfer unexpected appropriations and or excess revenue to capital reserve and to establish a maintenance reserve account. 6.16, move to approve an agreement with ESS Support Services LLC to provide classroom and bus aids for special education programs and transportation on an as-needed basis during the 2022-23 school year. ESS was the sole bidder for substitute staffing services. The agreement and year-over-year bill rate comparison are attached. 6.7, move to approve an agreement with Advancing Opportunities for Assistive Technology Services for students with special needs for the period of July 1, 2022 through June 30th, 23 school year in accordance with the attached contract. 6.18, move to approve a contract with Invo Healthcare Associates to provide occupational therapy services from July 1st, 22 through June 30th, 23 as needed at the rate of $82 per hour in accordance with the attached agreement. 6.9, move to approve that pursuant to PL 2015, Chapter 47, the Township of Ocean Board of Ed intends to renew, award, or permit to expire the following contracts previously awarded by the Board of Ed as per the attached and below. 6.20, home stretch, guys. Move to approve the extension of award of the automatic temperature control service agreement for the 2022-23 school year with Jersey State Controls in accordance with the attached contract. Note that there is no increase from prior year. And last, 6.21, move to approve an addendum to resolution 6.6 from the April 12th, 2022 regular meeting. The additional impact is a write-off of $5,287.91 of receivables owed to the district. May I have a second?
Second. Any,
Are we tabling 6.17 until you get information, Ms. Cordero? Or
I don't think we need to. I'll recuse myself. I think that'll solve it.
Any other questions before we take a vote?
Yes.
Sorry.
anybody?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I guess I can't get my question ready fast enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Use of facilities, 6.4. I brought this up a couple of times. Can we make sure the name of the organization that we list is, I guess, the legal entity? Is Ocean Township Baseball the legal entity of the school-related organization?
I believe it is. It's been consistent year over year, but I will check that.
Okay.
Why is that important?
Because to me, that doesn't look like a nonprofit. To me, that looks like it's our school baseball team. So why would they be renting from us? So if it's a nonprofit.
Yeah, the only problem is that the legal entity name could be totally different than anything.
It is our school.
Right.
and it is their
Is legal entity the wrong phrasing I want to use?
It's our baseball team.
Right.
It's a for-profit camp.
I see. Okay.
This is similar to like the basketball camp we do, the soccer camp.
Yeah, it's like Spartan
Yeah.
soccer and all that kind of
This
stuff.
this is our baseball team. It's just, but it's a,
Yes. Whereas with those organizations, I know that that's what that is. I don't know that by reading this.
I'll find out. Yeah, I could absolutely do that. I will make sure I'll talk to Mr. Bosman about that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm gonna take a vote.
Okay.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern?
Yes.
Ms. Prolanis?
Yes.
Salarico?
Yes for everything but 6.9, no.
Ms. Tortorella?
Yes to everything except 6.17, which I recuse myself for professional reasons.
Sure. Mr. Weinstein?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that one thing I was voting on. Am I allowed to change my vote?
Yes.
6.9, I'd like to vote no, please. Everything else, yes.
6.9, okay,
Thank you, Tina.
no problem.
Okay, Ms. Gilman, instructional education and senior activities.
All right, there are 8 action items for instruction, education, and student activities. 7.1, move to approve out-of-district private tuition for 2022 summer ESY program and for 2022-2023 school year in accordance with the attached memorandum dated June 8th, 2022. 7.2, move to approve out-of-district placements for 2022 summer extended school year special education program ESY in accordance with the attached memorandum dated June 14th, 2022. 7.3, move to approve transportation for the 2022 summer out-of-district extended school year special education program in accordance with the attached memorandum dated June 14th, 2022. 7.4, move to approve additional transportation for the 2022 summer out-of-district extended school year special education program in accordance with the attached memorandum dated June 14th, 2022. 7.5, move to approve the requests of Monmouth University students to fulfill their clinical practice requirements during the 2022-2023 school year in accordance with the attached memorandum dated June 9th, 2022. 7.6, move to approve the request of a Kane University student to fulfill their observation hours during the 2022 extended school year program in accordance with the attached memorandum dated June 9th, 2022. 7.7, move to affirm the district's out-of-school suspension report for the month of May 2022. And 7.8, move to affirm the receipt of the following harassment, intimidation, and bullying incident summary reports for the 2021-2022 school year. The reports were previously provided to the board by the superintendent of schools. The board has reviewed the reports and affirms the superintendent's reports. HIB report number 20, June 7th, 2022, and HIB report 21, June 14th, 2022. Have a second?
Second. Very quick today.
I know. Are there any questions?
Any questions, any comments? Questions, sorry. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman?
Yes.
Ms. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy?
Yes.
Ms. McGovern?
Yes.
Ms. Prolamis?
Yes.
Ms. Talarico?
Yes.
Ms. Tortorella?
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein?
Just all except 7.5, I'm going to recuse myself due to my affiliation with Monmouth University.
Thank you.
Personnel, Ms. Denise Parlamis.
Yes, I have 29 motions this evening. And I promise that I will read them as fast as my tongue will allow me. Mrs. Hayes, did you want to make a motion?
I do, but I don't know if I need to make it after you read, or may I make it beforehand?
I think it needs to be done
I think
before.
it's okay if you do it right now.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to table the action for the Title IX coordinator pending Bryce of this individual till the next available session.
What number is that?
What number? Yeah.
8.19.
Thank you.
I was scrolling, so thank
So what do? Do we take a
Second.
you. Oh, did somebody second?
second?
Need a second. We need a second.
Need a second.
8:19
Yep.
now.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
Shawanda seconded it.
Thank you. Take a vote. Ms. Beal,
Yes.
Yes, it's the table.
It's the
Yes, it's the table. No,
right,
it's
so
not
that's,
table.
yeah, right, so it's to table, that's what we're voting on,
Right,
right?
okay.
So, Ms.
Yes.
Beal,
Opportunity for debate.
Wait, oh, for discussion.
No, it's personal.
It's personnel.
Right.
Yeah.
can't, yeah, right,
can't be discussed.
Can't be discussed.
right. Can I continue? Yeah,
Yes.
Ms. Gilman,
No,
Ms. Hayes,
Yes,
Mr. McCarthy,
No.
Mrs. McGovern,
No.
Ms. Plummer,
No.
Ms. Telerico,
Yes.
Ms. Tortorella,
no,
Mr. Weinstein.
I think I'm gonna have to recuse myself because I
Okay.
was not part of the executive discussion.
So motion. does
neither was I,
not
but I,
pass.
but I did recuse myself.
Okay.
I don't have to-
8.1, move to approve the carryover of a maximum of 5 vacation days over the normal allotted amount from the 2021-22 school year for 12-month employees. 8.2, move to approve instructional assistant substitutes as listed below. 8.3, move to approve substitute teachers as listed below. 8.4, move to approve revisions to staff for the 2022 Special Ed Extended School Year Program as listed below. 8.5, move to approve the following teachers and service providers to work for the 2022 Special Ed Extended School Year Program. 8.6, move to approve the following substitute teachers for the 2022 Special Ed Extended School Year Program as listed below. 8.7, move to approve the following instructional assistants for the extended school year program as listed below. 8.8, move to approve the following instructional assistant substitutes for the special ed extended school year program as listed below. 8.9, move to approve a revision to staffing for the Spartan Ready Summer Skills Camp at Wayside as listed below. 8.10, move to approve Teresa Henry as a teacher for the Summer Bridge program at the intermediate school. 8.11, move to approve staffing for the 2022 summer programs as listed below. 8.12, move to approve the following bus drivers as listed below. 8.13, move to approve the following contracted 10-month secretaries as clerical substitutes for the summer months. 8.14, move to approve the summer maintenance workers, maintenance and grounds department district-wide, each 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, full-time as listed below. 8.15, move to approve summer maintenance workers, maintenance and grounds department, district-wide, each 5 days a week as listed below. 8.16, move to approve an unpaid family leave of absence for Maria Sanchez, instructional assistant from OTES. 8.17, move to approve an unpaid family leave for Rachel Moss, social worker, Wanamassa and OTES. 8.18, move to approve an unpaid family leave for Janine Sterner, special ed teacher at the intermediate school. 8.19, move to approve Christine Fogler as a district affirmative action officer. 8.20, move to approve the resignation of Greg Cologne as the high school chess club advisor and the DECA club advisor. 8.21, move to approve additional coaches and club advisors as listed below. 8.22, move to approve James Young and Lauren Ziza as the Spartan Schools coordinators at the high school for the upcoming school year. 8.23, move to approve for the upcoming school year John D. Covert as an administrator substitute in the district. 8.24, move to approve clerical substitutes as listed below. 8.25, move to approve the following custodial substitutes as listed below. 8.26, move to approve the following substitute bus drivers as listed below. 8.27, move to approve the following substitute security guards as listed below. 8.28, move to approve that contracts be issued to the following as listed below. And 8.29, move to approve a resolution commending the following staff members upon their retirement from the Township of Ocean School District as listed below. Can I please have a second?
Second.
You can give it to Irene.
I'm sorry.
Irene.
No, thank you very much. Okay,
Ms. Truba?
yes, Ms. Beal,
Yes.
Ms. Gilman,
Yes.
Ms. Hayes,
819, no. All the rest, yes.
thank you. Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern,
Yes.
Ms. Palamas.
Yes.
Ms. Talarico,
819 and 823, no. All the rest, yes.
Ms. Tortorella,
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public relations, Ms. Hayes.
Please hold on, just pulling it up. 9.1, 9.1 non-resident tuition rates for the 2022-2023 school year. Move to approve the non-resident tuition fees for individuals wishing to attend Township of Ocean schools. Tuition fees may or by grade levels will be as follows: grade 9 through 12, 13.5, grades 5 through 8, 8.5, grades K through 4, 8.5. Legal residents and enrolled in Township of Ocean K through 12. You can see the reduction of regular tuition and multi-student discount under public comment. Application fee will be waived and a 25% employee tuition discount will apply if signed up by August 1st. Do I
Second.
have a,
9.4 is a motion too.
oh, I didn't, okay, you want me to still go?
Yeah, read them all and then do
All right. Sorry, it's not clicking.
Stuff the bus, Alex. You can come up
I
with
know,
something.
my computer was not clicking. Board of Ed and Administration will review and discuss the School Ethics Act and the Board of Education Code of Ethics as annually required pursuant to NJSA 1821, 1221, et cetera. Thank you. 9.3, discussion.
We're back 1,000.
See, School Board candidacy kit has been released by the New Jersey School Boards Association. Candidacy petitions are due to the Monmouth County Clerk by July 25th by 4 p.m. for the November 8th, 2022 Board of Education member election. And you can see the link on how to become a school board member candidate in the public session. 9.4, move to approve the request of Cedar Village of Ocean and over 55 community to donate backpacks filled with school supplies like crayons, pens, etc., to our district for the 2022-2023 school year. The backpacks will be given to displaced and economically disadvantaged students in grades K through 5. This Cedar Village community project is titled Stuff the Bus. Do I
Second.
have a motion?
Second was, okay.
Just real quick before you take the vote.
9.1 and 9.4.
Just,
Just for 9.1 and 9.4, the other two are discussion.
Just following up on 9.1, this, for the 2021-22 school year, we had 5 individuals who were part of the tuition program. We anticipate at least that many. We anticipate those individuals returning and, obviously if we get any additional.
Okay, thanks.
That was a question that came up last week.
Oh, thank you. So you want us to vote for
9.1 and 9.4.
Okay.
Mrs. Beal,
Yes.
Ms. Gilman,
Yes.
Ms. Hayes.
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. McGovern,
Yes.
Ms. Palamas.
Yes.
Ms. Talarico,
Yes.
Ms. Tortorella,
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Any discussion we want to have about 9.2 and 9.3?
Okay, we had it upstairs.
9.2, I gave you all of the information behind the sign-in sheet, so
Yep.
I printed everything out.
Thank you. And you would like us to return that to you as soon as possible?
After you read it, if you
After
have
we
any
read it.
questions, you could call the business office and we'll be able to assist.
Any
Um,
discussion on 9.3?
I realize 9.3 is just a discussion, so we'll be making a vote on it soon, but I feel like every year we have to talk about it like 17 times. Is that a mandate that it has to be in our agendas a certain amount of times?
The Code of Ethics?
No, the school board election
School
info.
board election needs to, when it's available, you tend to put the resolution on.
But every meeting until like
No.
No,
July?
it's just storing when it becomes available.
Okay,
So this is the regular meeting, so we put it on.
seems like we always talk about it.
Alex, I think you're meaning the vote, like the vote, once.
Yeah, I know
election
that.
happens,
That was coming later.
Oh, okay, 'cause that happens.
That'll be in November, I'll say that.
If there's no more discussion. We could go to old business. Anybody for any old business?
I think it's kind of old. Could be.
Sure, go ahead.
It might be old, it might be new, but I have two things I want to say. First, I just want to, I know we talked about a lot about our staff that was sitting here that retired. I just want to thank all of you in the back of the room. I'll get emotional because I always do. And this is personal, and I know I'm not supposed to bring personal stuff into my board seat here, but I do have, I know, I do have my youngest going to high school next year. So, just hard to believe, but, you know, it's been great. I thank you, Chris. TOIS has been a great experience for us. People say how much middle school is crazy and horrible, and we didn't have that experience. So I thank you. We look forward to the rest of our time, but I just want to thank you guys for everything that you guys have done this year. Every year, but this year has been, as everybody says, the hardest year in education. So thank you all for that. So that was my first thing, and I'll stop being emotional now. My second thing is we've talked a lot about Spartan schools. Speaking of the same said child who was going into our School of Business and Finance, I attended the open house or the orientation, I guess we'll call it. And I just want to say that it was very well run. The kids did an awesome job. Shout out to all of the juniors and seniors. Well, we had everybody there. We had freshmen and sophomore there as well. They presented in a way for the kids, like the kids presented to the kids. The teachers were there to facilitate, which they really didn't have to, except to finally at the end say, oh, and by the way, I am who I am. So I just wanted to say the crazy thing, I was only in the business one, that there are 52 freshmen, incoming freshmen, I believe. I believe Dr. Stavankowitz gave me a percentage that I'm not going to remember right now, maybe 18 or 20 something % of our school being in. Yeah, so it's a higher, it's about a quarter, let's say, of our students are in the Spartan schools, and I just thought that was great. So congratulations to all of you for promoting it and for the kids for doing a great job. So that was it.
So basically, we have a throwdown of who's going to cry more. Is that what's going on there?
I just want to put this out there that I got made fun of for many, 9 years. I got made fun of for maybe 7 of them for crying when I sat in the seat. And I wish some of those board members could watch now and see that I am not the only crier. It makes me very happy.
Sitting between the two of you guys tonight is a little
Okay. And by the way, I just want to echo Amy, school year is coming to an end, I'm sure it was a rough.
It's not bittersweet this year.
Yeah, and I do want to thank you. Also, I want to thank you for coming to all these meetings and sitting and, going through all this stuff with us. So, a lot of thank yous I'm assuming from all of us to all of you. So thanks very much. Okay. John, yes.
I didn't want to impede the progress of the meeting and the wonderful, display that we had today, but in the president's report, I did have one specific question.
Yeah,
It's open
sure.
to anybody who was at any of the meetings with our representatives or senator, but our assemblywoman or our senator. Did anything tangible come out of that? Was there a pledge for this is what we're going to do, or this is what we're going to attempt to do, or?
Yes, I think there were some bills that they were going to cite that they were going to have us in on. They were going to both were asking us for a list of things that we were interested in having, which we were going to give to them. They were both sponsoring legislation to roll back and refund our districts. We did talk to both of them about coming up with more specific plans for Ocean Township, because at the end of the day, we're more interested in Ocean Township than we are about any macro problem, right? So there were some things that they were shed some light on, but I don't believe there's anything that we want that we can say definitive anything that's going to happen at any point.
Was the sponsoring of legislation, was it specifically for S2 districts? Is that what it?
Yes.
They're looking to return funding.
I think that's been going on, I think, according to Senator Gopal, that's been going on for a number of times. As a matter of fact, there's some legislation, I think, that's being presented to the DOJ, right? That they're evaluating. That's been going on for the last 18 months to 2 years about trying to fund our district fund districts like us back to the original level. So there's been a lot of discussion around that. So I think we were trying to do more than anything else was kind of discussing with them, and I have discussed with each of them our specific situations prior. So we went through that again with a larger group, and one of the things that, you know, we talked about was, we talked about a lot of things that we think the equation does not represent. So we kind of went through those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I just a brief comment, kind of to follow up with Amy, what she was saying. I had an opportunity in the past couple weeks at the middle school to attend 6th grade orientation as well as the 5th grade band concert. They were both really well done. The orientation was informative. We got to take a little tour, which was great. And the concert was adorable. So they did a great job. Mr. McAloon did a really good job with them. So.
Nice, nice. Any additional old business?
I do.
Yes.
And agenda numbers, can't even talk, 8.14 and 8.15. They both seem to be the exact same text, so I think there might be an error in the online agenda. One of them talks about adults, maintenance workers making 125 a day, and then it's supposed to be the student summer custodial assistants, which I believe an earlier reiteration of our agendas showed $13 an hour paying students. So,
Students don't make the 13, it's lower.
okay,
That I checked.
But she's right.
the actual agenda is incorrect.
It just,
Okay.
It's just
so
a copy and
which
paste
one is it?
error.
I'm sorry.
The incorrect one is 8.15.
Okay.
It's just basically 8.14 subbed in.
I'll talk to-
And I think I've brought this up in the past. I just think it's a little bit crazy that we are going to be paying teenagers 13, or like you're saying, less than 13,
Yeah, it's less.
and we're paying adults $16. I'm very happy we approved everybody in 8.14 and 8.16, but if we want to be competitive, we need to pay a little bit more. And okay, so there's that. Also, in our PT services, at some point this evening, I believe we, excuse me, approved $35 an hour for PT and OT, I think for the summer. And according to our records, we generally pay 65, I thought, or more during the school year per hour for some of these professional services like OTs and physical therapists. So I'm hoping that perhaps there can be a greater discussion about paying some of these professionals a greater stipend over the summer. I don't know why any physical therapists or occupational therapists would want to take a job for $35 an hour. I commend them for doing so, but it seems very low. And I actually don't mind sharing with the district, but I have somebody shared with me what the city of Newark pays their occupational therapists, and their PTs and OTs start at 45. And then the physical therapists start at 62. So here's another example that I think sometimes our pay can be rather insulting to the work that.
No, that's all
provide.
contractually determined. So certainly in the next contract negotiation, if the board would like to address that, that's certainly within the purview of the board.
Okay. Do you have any more questions? Any more things, not questions or things you want to say?
For old business, correct?
Yep.
That is it for old business. Thank you.
Okay, anybody for new business? Gracie, would you like to?
Do you want to
You want me
preface it or?
Yeah, I can preface it.
Okay, it's fine.
I can preface it, yeah. A number of conversations with Grace Ann, and we've been talking about stuff. And one of the things that she would like to bring up was the idea for our executive sessions. We have a policy in place that nobody can be remote. And one of the things that she is asking for is, could we have executive sessions where I believe she's asking that people could listen in, members could listen in, but not participate.
If they're sick.
If they're sick,
Yes.
right? If they're sick, right?
Because it doesn't really make logical sense if you're sick to be able to come to listen or participate in executive session. You have to be in person. So you're potentially exposing healthy members to your germs and so forth, and then leave and be able to log on at home and vote and listen into the rest of the meeting, the public meeting. So to me, that doesn't make a lot of logical sense.
I agree.
I mean, I'd like to hear other people's thoughts.
Does anybody have any thoughts around the matter? So our current policy is no, and I think we established this back in January, right? No, no executive session, no remote access during executive session. So she's asking to repeal that and wants to have a discussion about it.
I mean, I see what Grace Ann is saying. My issue is how do we keep people in the room that you're sitting at home from hearing what's going on in executive session? Like for us, what's the guarantee that you're
We
not?
did it for 2 years and nobody really had a
I know,
problem
but
with it.
that was because we had no other choice.
And if you're listening in, you can put headphones on. If you're not talking, then how is anyone else hearing anything that's going on? I mean, headphones would do that.
I just think that we discussed this, we voted on it. We've discussed it a million times, and if we bring back every time something that we've discussed, especially even within the board that's sitting here, I understand year over year, you get different members who might have different opinions. But we discussed this, we voted on it. It was weeks. It brings me back to the stupid school bus thing.
It just makes no sense.
I mean, if I was sick, I would just stay home and I would call Tina the next day or Jim the next day and say, what happened in executive session?
I don't understand why, like I said, if everyone's so worried about other people listening, you put earphones in. No one else can hear it then. I mean, I don't get it. So instead, we're risking exposure of people that are sick or, not being able to be part of it at all. If Ms. Hayes was able to be at least part of it last week, she wouldn't have had to make the motion this week about, one of the agenda items. It just doesn't make any sense.
I understand what Amy's saying about like, this shouldn't set any sort of precedent of slippery slope of, well, just because one thing happens, let's change whatever we just voted on a couple months ago. But I think we hadn't experienced this a couple months ago. For example, I could have been here on Tuesday, but I chose not to get my germs around you guys. So I think what we discussed about a couple months ago is you're going to expose, like, intentionally or unintentionally, and we would hope it's always unintentionally, germs that unnecessarily, and we wouldn't have talked about this 2 years ago if we didn't have a global pandemic.
Yeah, I just, Jeff, I don't think it'd be fair to you to hammer you a couple weeks ago about us going back to an old issue and not do it here. I feel as though this is a waste of the board's time. Grace Ann, I understand the situation that you were in previously, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, the only option here would be to not in old or new business, but to bring a motion forward in the next meeting to repeal it and then to vote on it. But I think that we've discussed this ad nauseum. I think that we know that the board is sort of, conflicted on this, but I don't see a need to discuss it further unless there was a motion presented for the following meeting to repeal the previous motion, and then we could vote on it again. I think that we've already discussed this very in depth, and I could probably tell you what everybody feels, and I understand, but I do believe that we're wasting the board's time by having this discussion again respectfully.
Thanks, John. Shwanda?
I understand Grace Ann's point. I understand John's point. Everybody sitting here has earned their seat at the table, and if they want to bring up a topic, it's their right to.
I understand.
Because everybody here has earned.
But I'm going to
their
share my
seat.
opinion that I think we're
No,
just.
and I said I can see Grace Ann's point. I see your
Absolutely.
point.
Thank you, Shwanda.
As someone who was here last week, sitting, waiting for a quorum, that's what I also think about. So I completely understand, and I hate to say it, it's a moot point. If a motion was brought forward, it's going to die, and it is what it is. But as someone who was sitting here waiting for a quorum, it would be nice to extend that courtesy and also not to pass the germs. But
I mean, I don't think you're allowed to do something further. Yes. Okay, any other new business you want to discuss?
I have 2 new business items.
Sure.
I believe it was the 1st of May, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Stefanowitz, but we have switched our allegiance or alliance with the Health Department, the commission, the Regional Health Commission, to the County Health Department. I'm not so sure all of our nurses have all the contact info. Do you have all the contact info, et cetera? And our website currently states that we are still affiliated with the Monmouth County Regional Health Commission, which we are not. So if we can update our website, that would be great. And our website links to the incorrect health department. So I guess that's several questions. Can we get that fixed? And do all the
Yes.
nurses have all the contact info?
Yes.
Okay.
Just for those listening, just one for the board, that was not our decision.
Yeah.
That's a town decision. So we really didn't have any say in that at all. We kind of found out pretty close to that deadline and we were all sort of surprised by that. But, obviously we have great respect and for the County Department of Health, and we've been working with them and we'll continue to work with them as we did with the Regional Health Commission. And yes, I'll look on that on the website and we'll make that change.
Great, thank you. And also, I don't know, not to put Ms. Lepusnik on the spot, but we had a pretty awesome outcome in the steam tank competition with the New Jersey School Boards Association. So if who wants to maybe say what happened or?
Yeah, no, that's my fault. I apologize. I got wrapped up in our, retirement that I was going to mention this in my report. So yes, so our team Relax, right, as part of our steam tank. We had the Relax Club here a few months back. They took second place in the state in the steam tank competition. So that was really outstanding. And if I'm not mistaken, our elementary teams, we had 7 elementary teams out of I think 41 in the state that were part of the finalist round. So that's outstanding for all of our groups. So great job, absolutely. Great job by those kids.
Thank you.
Any
That's it.
additional new business? Okay, well,
I actually do. I have new business.
sure.
Actually, I discussed with you in an email about having the equity coach come in and do a presentation for the board, and I was wondering when that would happen, or if you discussed that at all.
That was on my list. I guess I gotta pick it up with them. You're trying to figure out an equity coach, you mean like get a presentation by the equity coaches on what's going on in the
Yes,
schools? Okay, I will put that on the list and need to start with Dr. Stankiewicz about getting it on the list.
terrific.
Okay.
And sometime in July, we were gonna have the presentation on Robert's rules or
I'm
right?
working with, one is first, Shawanda is finding out dates that are available. The other is, as in the last meeting, I said we were gonna come up with a retreat and figuring out if that should be part of a retreat. And then during the retreat, we were gonna discuss board goals, have a parliamentary, maybe have some conflict resolution discussion, and talk about the beginning part of the year. Okay, I'm gonna be doing that, sending some information out, trying to get dates from people over the next week and a half or so. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Anything, anybody? By the way, there is one older business, new business, I guess, is, we were talking about Kenny Pickett, having a Kenny Pickett Day, right? And so we're still trying to figure that out, and,
It's not looking good for the school year. Last report is that the earliest, I was a little busy trying to negotiate his freshman contract, I guess. But the latest we heard is that he won't be in town till after earliest June 25th.
right.
So it's after we're out of school. So we'll continue to try to.
Yes, I mean, we did have conversations with the town council to be part of anything that they might be doing. We did want to do something though for our kids and do something that was maybe more related to our kids and any kind of proclamation. So we're going to be talking to the town council to understand what their plans are. Okay. Okay.
Do we do that for other successful alumni in other fields?
We have, I'm sure we've honored people, but
Well, we've, our Hall of Fame, we've certainly done some things. We've had some other people back to talk with kids, those, distinguished alumni. So you know, we've certainly done things. I don't know that we've had a designated day for anyone. Have we ever?
I would probably say it the other way.
Joe Palea Day.
I'd probably say it the other way. I'd probably
That's-
say
that's
that
the
we
state.
should probably have, excuse me.
Sorry.
We should probably have more times where we do honor people who've done some cool things, right? So we should maybe want to look at that more often when we see people who do great, cool things and put themselves at the 0.01% and do some kind of acknowledgement of that. So that's what we should kind of get to. So the crying side can go between me and you, and we figure out which one of us gets.
I just had one quick thing I forgot about. I think at the last meeting or the one before that, I asked what our numbers were for signups for the summer programs. Obviously, not meaning to put anybody on the spot now, but could we get an update for the next meeting, please? I know that letters went out and already, the district is saying, wait, are you really coming? In a secondary letter, so it'd be nice to see how many people are coming to our summer.
I can say phone calls are being made today to see if kids are coming to programs, as I may or may not have received. one.
Yes, I have friends, yes, who were.
So I'm
Yep.
sure numbers are not complete.
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay if I move over to public
Wait, did I
comment?
get an answer? We
He
can do
said
that?
yes.
Oh, okay, okay, great, thank you.
Is it okay if I move over to public comment? Yeah. Would anybody from the public like make a comment on any topic at this time? Anybody in the audience? Well, you've been very patient.
Oh, my.
So thank you. Thank you very much.
It's not gonna take that long.
Okay, can you state your name and
Okay,
address?
my name is Joe Ryan, and I live in Wayside, New Jersey. And I'm 2 weeks shy of 26 years living in this community. So I'm gonna just read from my script here, and you're gonna hear that again.
Oh, sure. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the community, one person and the.
On Zoom, yeah.
21 people on Zoom.
And the township of, and the community of the Township of Ocean, members of the school board and school administrators. My name is Joe Ryan and I live in Wayside. I would like to begin with showing respect and recognition to the US flag and what it represents on this Flag Day. And I was actually quite a little bit disappointed that we didn't recognize that after the Pledge of Allegiance, to be quite honest with you. But in addition, I also want to bring up that it's also the 247th birthday, the Army birthday today as well. And that's an organization I have dedicated my whole career to, 39 and a half years. And I absolutely love the Army. I'd like to thank the soldiers that have fought for my freedom to be speaking here tonight. I offer my sincere congratulations and best wishes to all the retirees. And I would also like to thank the administrators of the township, because both of my children went through this school district as well, from kindergarten through graduation. One's a nuclear tech at Brick Hospital. The other is a pilot for Republic Airlines. However, I would like to mention that tonight there was one person missing from the list of retirees that should have been on there, and that's my wife, Dr. Doreen Ryan. She retired January 1st, of this year, after serving this community and board for over 33 years, which would have brought the total up over 700 man years, or years, not man years, years. Leading by example with professionalism and the highest personal character. Doreen received nothing but positive performance evaluations and reviews from her first day until her last day, from all evaluators, including the past 3 superintendents and the one that's sitting here tonight. Doreen started her career upon graduation from Georgian Court College in the intermediate school as a special education teacher, working with multiply disabled children. While working, she began her graduate studies to become a reading specialist and graduated with a master's degree in reading. She became a reading specialist at Wayside Elementary School and taught reading education resource. She literally helps hundreds of struggling children learn this life skill of reading. She continued her education and attained a second master's degree in supervision, administration, and curriculum planning, and was subsequently promoted to assistant principal at Wayside Elementary School, where she worked many years. During her tenure as assistant principal, she continued her studies and obtained a doctorate in education from Seton Hall University. Her dissertation was related to the impact of socioeconomic factors on learning, reading acquisition, and has been internationally cited in numerous books and articles. She was promoted in 2007 to the position of principal of Ocean Township Elementary School. At the time of her retirement in January, she was the most senior administrator in this district. During her tenure of serving this district and community, she coached Tournament of Champions at the county and state level. She brought parent-child programs to Wayside and Ocean Township Elementary Schools, such as organizing 18 years of Blue Claws games that usually happened on Father's Day weekend, this coming weekend. That's not going to happen this year. Blue Claws games worked with the Lions Club for eyeglasses for the needy children, ran Adopt a Family program to deliver holiday toys and clothes to hundreds of families in need, in conjunction with the Ocean Township Police Department and Ocean Township Chamber of Commerce. And most recently got in her own car and delivered food to children during COVID, remote learning months, when their parents had no transportation and lived too far from the distribution sites. This food for some of these children was the only meals they would get. There are so many other things that Doreen has done for our community. There are too many to list here for tonight. It was always about the children for Doreen, and it was over 3 decades of service to the community of Gracious Living. I want to thank her for everything she has done to make this a better place to live, and she is worthy of this recognition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, hang on.
I'm sorry. Mr. Ryan, you are 100% correct. And the fact that there was not a plaque for her this evening is an oversight that I take full responsibility for, and I regret, and I'm very sorry for that. So thank you for coming here tonight.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we got, thank you.
No,
I wanted to get that in the record.
I'm very glad and appreciative that you did that. So thank you, and I truly apologize.
Well, don't apologize to me, apologize to her, because she's the one who got slighted.
You are correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Anybody else from the audience here like to make a comment? No? Ms. Conway, anybody remotely like to make a comment?
Yes, President Weinstein, we have Allison Oscan. Please go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I'm hoping my son doesn't hear me because he literally just walked in the door from soccer. So I just wanted to talk quickly about the emergency drills or security drills, lockdown drills, whatever they're called now. I'm sure you know that we had one the week before last. So my first question is, I'm sorry, Allison Oskan, High Ridge Road, Wayside. Forgot to say that, apologies. Because my kids are so young, 5.5 and almost 7, pre-K and first grade currently. My first question is, who decides what is told to, especially the younger kids of that age, about these security drills, you know, why they're happening? Like where does that messaging come from? Is it district wide that's agreed on? Is it by school, by teacher? That's my first question.
Dr. Svenkovich, would you like to?
Well, just clarifying question. You mean in the moment or before they happen, or what do you mean in terms
Well,
of?
there has to be, I mean, I don't know how it works. This is totally new territory for me. It's uncharted and we didn't have these when I was a kid. I don't know anything about them. Luckily we didn't have a need. Now we do. It's a different world. So, you know, whether it's
Yeah, so in the moment when they happen, you know, I think the principals, if I'm not mistaken, will get on loudspeakers and make announcements to the fact that there's going to be a drill and that everyone is safe and it's purely a drill. And, you know, we do these drills so we practice in case there's an emergency situation. And then, of course, the teachers within the rooms themselves follow up with any specific questions that the kids have, and we assure them that everything is well, but we do these drills just in case an emergency were to take place.
Okay, so obviously this one that happened the week before last happened a week after the horrific tragedy in Texas, which obviously we all struggled with immensely as parents, myself included. And I didn't know how to handle that when it happened with the kids because the kids are so young. So I, you know, went to Google and looked at the experts, and what I found is that, you know, you really there isn't a need to tell them about it, obviously, unless they hear and ask about it. They're so young, they can't really process until age 9. So I did not say anything. My son especially is the type who will tell me anything. He's a thinker. He's an observer. So I knew he would kind of come to me. Well, the night, so we're sitting at family dinner, the 4 of us, the day of that drill. And he says very matter-of-factly that they had a drill in case animals, like tigers or lions get out from the zoo. So they have to turn off the lights and stay under the desks. I do not know how I kept my composure. I literally looked at my husband across the table and was like just staring at him, like, because we didn't know what to say or do. And my daughter, the pre-Ker, had a look of terror on her face because obviously this wasn't communicated to her. And she's like, what? There's going to be lions and tigers in the classroom? So I was so caught off guard. I mean, I kind of like it in a weird way, although it's bizarre, but I've heard that this happens and that it's, you know, some teachers or schools or whatever say this because I guess because they don't know what else to say to the kids. But I think I would have just really appreciated a heads up as a parent that this was going to be the messaging so that I could have been prepared and could have figured out like how to handle that. And I mean, you know, I had to assure my daughter that no, there were not going to be lions and tigers escaping from the zoo. And this is just in case. But it really was just very, you know, stunning to me because again, I had never heard anything like this before. So I don't know if that was the specific teacher. I don't know if it was the room. Again, like I was floored.
Well, I don't believe that that's the messaging that would come from our administration on that. I mean, it's hard to know exactly what every specific staff member may say. I don't know that we can say that a staff member spoke to tigers or you know, what you referred to. I mean, we're not, you know, no one in this room right now is aware of anything like that being said. I think if there's a specific situation of something that was said in your child's room and you have a concern about that, you should reach out to the individual building administrator and you can address that concern with them. But that's certainly not the messaging that we would advocate.
Okay, so just so and I definitely will, no problem there. So I just want to understand because, you know, again, like my assumption is my daughter hasn't heard anything like that specifically from the room, but as she goes into kindergarten next year and is still of this very young age, am I understanding correctly that really the only thing they're told is that there's an emergency drill in case of emergency, there are no other specifics that are being communicated to them or should be from, you know, the teachers or the administration. Is that correct? Is that accurate?
Well, like I said, I think when it's age appropriate, obviously what might get said to, you know, by individual teachers in a fourth grade classroom might be different than in the pre-K classroom.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just talking about.
So, you know, I think, you know, our training as administrators is that we don't tell tales, right? We be very honest and appropriate, age appropriate with children. We don't try to create fantastical scenarios. So we tell them if there's we have these drills in case there's an emergency. If we have a fire drill in case there is a fire, and the chances of fire are very small, but in case something happens, we need to know how to respond. You know, we work to reassure kids, but the importance of having these drills that in case there is an emergency situation that we should have them. Also, I just want to remind everyone that for any security drill, lockdown, shelter in place, stay put drill, we do send home emails that inform parents that these drills did take place in the day to make sure that you hopefully, or, you know, all parents are aware that these drills happen in case they, you know, come up at the dinner table. But I can assure you that it's no official script or anything that speaks to telling stories about if wild animals escape from zoos, that this is why we have these drills.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. I mean, I would probably encourage or ask that maybe everybody thinks about it like for the future, for parents who are new, you know, they're coming into the school for the first time and they only have young kids starting in pre-K or kindergarten. It just might be good to have some sort of communication. Like, and yes, I totally love that there's a law that mandates that you notify us on the day of course, you know, I wish there were the day before, but I understand why obviously it can't be. But so I did know, but I couldn't talk about it with my kids then because it was already happening to them in school. So, you know, again, it's just, I don't know. I would love if there were some type of communication to parents that kind of, you know, explains maybe a little bit more about how it works, because we're not there. We have no idea what happens. We understand what an emergency drill is, but we're not there. So we don't know what happens in the school. So that's my only comment, is I would love for that to be considered. And again, I'll follow up with the teacher, you know, specifically in this case to find out what happened, but it just was very surprising and off-putting to me.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Anybody else, Ms. Conway?
No, President Weinstein, there are no further commenters.
Okay, so before we leave, I just want to thank everybody for finishing out the school year, and we have graduation next week, which should be a great event. And also, I just want to, I guess I have to make a motion about executive session. Right? So, but I want to just say those general comments, a lot of good discussion here, and I thought that today's meeting was a nice, fun meeting from a lot of different angles. And we are going to resume and go back to executive session, which we will take on matters of personnel and student matters, I guess. And we will adjourn from there.
We will not take action.
We will not take action. Right, sorry, we will not take action. Right. So
Second.
so I get can I get a motion to adjourn the regular meeting?
Motion. Second.
Second?
A
Okay.
motion to go into exec.
And a motion to go in executive session.
Motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Okay.